Chosen one, don't move to the next video. Don't check your phone. Don't let your eyes drift. Just pause. Right here. Right now. Take a slow breath in, hold it, and release it gently. Feel that. Something just shifted. The room didn't change, but your awareness did. The atmosphere around you feels denser, quieter, almost like time leaned closer to listen. That wasn't random. That wasn't mood. That was a moment being prepared specifically for you. Because some messages don't chase crowds, they find stillness. And somehow, out of all the noise in your day, you were guided into silence at the exact second this reached you. That is not coincidence. That is precision. Something higher knew you would understand if the world got quiet enough. And right now it has. You've felt different lately, haven't you? Not dramatically, not in ways you can easily explain, but subtly, deeply, undeniably. Like something inside you stepped back from the world, not in fear, but in observation. Conversations feel heavier. Certain voices feel sharper. Environments that once felt normal now feel exhausting. And you keep wondering, why does everything suddenly feel so loud when I feel so calm? Why do people seem restless when all I want is stillness? Listen carefully, nothing is wrong with you. You are not becoming distant, you are becoming aware, and awareness always arrives quietly before everything changes. Something has been adjusting inside your spirit piece by piece, layer by layer, without announcement, without permission from anyone around you. And that process requires protection. Not comfort, protection, because growth at this level is delicate in the beginning. Not weak, never weak, but forming, like something being shaped in unseen hands, something that cannot be rushed, cannot be exposed too early, cannot be touched by the wrong energy before it stabilizes. That is why distractions have increased. That is why small irritations feel strangely timed. That is why old memories resurface without warning. Conversations repeat themselves. People press on emotional places they somehow know still echo. None of that is accidental. Pressure always appears when transformation is close to completion. There are forces that cannot stop what is unfolding within you, so they attempt something else: interruption, reaction, emotional leakage. Because one impulsive response or one unnecessary explanation, one moment of anger can reopen doors that took you months to close. And you felt that tension, didn't you? That strange inner resistance when you almost responded, but something held you back. That wasn't hesitation, that was preservation. Something within you understands that your energy is no longer meant to be spent proving yourself. Your voice is no longer meant to defend what your peace has already confirmed. You are not being silenced, you are being refined. Look at how you've changed. Truly look. You don't chase closure the way you used to. You don't argue for understanding the way you once did. You don't feel the same urgency to correct people's opinions. There was a time when silence felt uncomfortable, almost like losing control. Now silence feels powerful, grounded, intentional. And part of you wondered if you were becoming cold, disconnected, unreachable. But that is not distance, that is alignment. Your inner world is reorganizing itself around clarity instead of reaction, around discernment instead of impulse, around presence instead of pressure. That shift makes you unpredictable to people who relied on your emotional availability, and unpredictability makes them uneasy. Some individuals around you sense the change even if they cannot name it. They try to pull you into familiar patterns, familiar tensions, familiar roles. They bring up the past. They reference old versions of you. They repeat stories that once triggered something immediate. They are searching for confirmation that you are still the same. But you are not, and their discomfort is not your responsibility. When you refuse to respond the way you once did, something invisible breaks. A pattern collapses. A cycle ends quietly, without announcement. That silence is not passive, it is decisive. It is the sound of history refusing to repeat itself. Right now you exist in a narrow space between what has already fallen away and what has not yet fully appeared. This space feels strange, suspended, almost weightless. You are no longer who you were, but you are still becoming who you will be. And this middle ground, this transition, is where focus matters most. Because this is where clarity is sharpened. This is where perception deepens. This is where you begin sensing truth without needing proof, recognizing misalignment without explanation, walking away without needing permission. That ability, that quiet knowing is being strengthened in you for a reason. Soon you will need it. Something is approaching your life that requires precision of spirit, not speed precision. Decisions will appear that look simple on the surface, but carry deeper consequences underneath. People will reveal themselves without realizing they have. Opportunities will present themselves wrapped in distraction. Paths will open, but only one will feel unmistakably right. And in that moment, logic alone will not guide you. External voices will not guide you. Only inner clarity will. That is why this season feels quieter than expected. Preparation rarely feels dramatic, but its impact is irreversible. You may have noticed your energy feels more limited than before. Not drained, just selective. You cannot give yourself everywhere anymore. You cannot absorb everyone's emotions, carry everyone's expectations, or entertain every conversation. Something within you has become guarded, not out of fear, but out of value. You finally recognize that your attention is sacred currency, and you are no longer spending it carelessly. That realization alone shifts everything, because once you treat your presence as valuable, everything that is not aligned begins to fall away naturally. No force required, just clarity. And here is something few will ever tell you: peace unsettles people who depend on chaos. When you remain calm, others feel exposed. When you stay grounded, others feel unstable. When you refuse emotional bait, others feel powerless. Not because you changed them, but because you stopped participating in the rhythm that made them comfortable. Your stillness reveals what noise once concealed. That is why some reactions around you feel sharper lately. It is not personal, it is adjustment. The environment is responding to your evolution. Listen, you are not meant to fix this. You are meant to witness it. Not everything requires intervention. Not every truth requires announcement. Some revelations unfold best when you simply remain steady, observant, unmoved. Because what is misaligned cannot remain hidden forever in the presence of clarity. Exposure happens naturally when resistance meets stillness, and what must separate will separate without force. There is something else you need to understand, something important. What is forming in you right now is not only strength, it is precision of awareness, a sensitivity that detects shifts before they fully appear, a perception that feels intention beneath words, a calm recognition that knows when to move and when to remain completely still. This is not ordinary intuition, this is alignment sharpening itself. And once fully stabilized, it will guide you through moments others cannot navigate. That is why interruption has increased, because once clarity settles permanently, confusion loses its influence over you. You may feel anticipation, like standing on the edge of something unseen but significant. That feeling is real. Something is rearranging itself ahead of you, quietly, intentionally. Circumstances, connections, timing, all adjusting beyond your sight. And when the moment arrives, it will feel strangely natural, like stepping into something you somehow already recognized long ago. But for that recognition to be clear, your spirit must remain undisturbed now. Calm is not delay, calm is positioning. So remain where you are, internally steady, aware, unhurried. Let conversations pass without absorbing them. Let tension dissolve without responding to it. Let silence stretch without filling it. You are not missing anything by staying still. You are securing everything that is meant to arrive. Movement will come, direction will come, revelation will come, but not through noise, through alignment, through presence, through quiet certainty. And if something inside you feels seen right now, deeply seen, like words just touched places you never explained to anyone, that is your confirmation, not from outside, from within. Recognition always feels like remembering something you forgot you already knew. Stay with that feeling. Let it settle. Let it anchor, because this moment was not random, and neither are you. You are not overlooked, not wandering, not drifting. You are being positioned, refined, prepared with precision that cannot be rushed. And what is unfolding through you cannot be taken from you, interrupted permanently, or misdirected if you remain aligned with this stillness. So breathe again, slowly, fully, and remain aware of the quiet strength surrounding you. You are not alone in this pause. You are not forgotten in this silence. You are being shaped within it, and very soon what has been forming invisibly will begin to move visibly. Stay present, stay grounded, stay ready, This is only the beginning of what you are about to see. Do you feel that quiet tension in your chest, like something is approaching but hasn't revealed its shape yet? Not pressure, not anxiety, something deeper, like standing in a doorway between two realities, knowing once you step forward, nothing will ever return to the way it was. That sensation you've been carrying, that subtle alertness, that heightened awareness of everything around you, that is not restlessness. That is readiness activating inside your spirit. Something is drawing closer, and your inner world knows it before your outer life can show it. You've probably noticed how time feels strange lately. Some days move slowly, almost heavy, like every hour is stretching. Other moments pass in a flash like reality skipped a beat. That distortion is not in your imagination. When transition nears completion, perception shifts. You begin noticing details others overlook. Small changes feel significant. Ordinary interactions feel layered with meaning. It's like your awareness stepped into a higher resolution, everything sharper, clearer, more revealing. And with that clarity comes something unfamiliar: responsibility. Because once you see clearly, you cannot pretend you don't. That's why certain illusions have been dissolving so quickly around you. Things you once tolerated now feel unbearable. Situations you once excused now feel misaligned. Words that once convinced you now sound hollow. You are not becoming difficult, you are becoming precise. Your spirit is rejecting what no longer resonates with truth. And truth, once recognized, demands response. Even if that response is silent distance. Here is what most people misunderstand: awakening is not loud. It doesn't announce itself with dramatic events or visible signs. It happens quietly internally, like light slowly filling a room before anyone notices the sunrise. But once the light is there, darkness has nowhere to hide. That's why people may feel different to you now. Not because they changed, but because you can finally see what was always present beneath the surface. Intentions, emotional undercurrents, hidden resistance, subtle authenticity. Everything is more visible now, even when no one says a word. And that visibility can feel isolating, not lonely, just separate. Like you're observing life from a slightly higher vantage point, watching patterns repeat, watching conversations circle, watching people react in predictable ways. And you realize you don't belong inside those cycles anymore. That realization can feel strange, almost disorienting, because when your inner world evolves faster than your external environment, the gap between them becomes noticeable. And that gap is where many people panic, trying to shrink themselves back into familiarity just to feel comfortable again. But you didn't shrink, you stayed present even when it felt unfamiliar, even when it felt quiet, uncertain, undefined. That courage, that willingness to remain in transition without forcing resolution, that is rare. Most people rush transformation because stillness feels unbearable. But you stayed in the unknown long enough for clarity to deepen. And now something extraordinary is happening. Your stability no longer depends on external confirmation. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need constant reassurance. You don't need visible progress every day. Your grounding has shifted inward, anchored in something steady, something unshakable, something no circumstance can manipulate. That inner anchor is what will carry you through what comes next. Because movement is approaching, real movement. Not internal adjustment, external change. And when it begins, it may feel sudden to everyone else, but not to you. You will recognize it instantly. A conversation that alters direction, an opportunity that appears without effort, a separation that feels unexpectedly peaceful, a realization so clear it leaves no room for doubt. These moments will not feel chaotic, they will feel inevitable. Like pieces finally sliding into their rightful place after long preparation. But before that movement arrives, there is one final refinement taking place inside you. Emotional detachment from outcomes, not indifference, freedom. You are learning to act without needing control over results, to choose alignment without demanding guarantees, to move forward without clinging to expectations. This shift is subtle but powerful. Because once attachment loosens, fear loses its grip. And when fear no longer dictates your responses, your decisions become extraordinarily clear. No hesitation, no overthinking, just calm recognition of what is right and the quiet courage to follow it. That level of clarity changes everything. It changes how you speak, how you listen, how you respond, how you walk away. It even changes how others perceive you, though they may not understand why. Some will feel drawn to your calm presence, sensing stability they cannot explain. Others will feel uncomfortable, sensing boundaries they cannot cross. Neither reaction requires your management. You are not here to regulate how others feel about your evolution. You are here to remain aligned with it. And alignment at this stage requires trust in what you cannot yet see. Right now, much of what is shifting around you is happening beneath the surface. Rearrangements you cannot track, connections being redirected, timing being calibrated, obstacles dissolving before they reach you, paths forming before you step forward. If you could see the full complexity of what is being orchestrated, you would understand why patience has been necessary, why delays protected you, why redirections saved you, why silence preserved clarity. Nothing has been wasted, not even the waiting. Especially not the waiting, because waiting refined your perception. You no longer confuse urgency with importance. You no longer mistake noise for direction. You no longer chase what is not meant for you. That restraint, that discernment, is what ensures that when movement begins, you step into exactly what aligns, nothing less. Nothing distorted, nothing premature. But here is the part many never realize: when alignment deepens, visibility increases. Not always outwardly, but energetically. Your presence carries weight now. Your attention carries influence. Your decisions ripple farther than before. That is why intention matters more than ever. Not perfection, intention. Acting from clarity rather than reaction. From awareness rather than impulse. From grounded calm rather than emotional surge. You've already felt the difference, haven't you? How powerful a single moment of restraint can be. How choosing silence can shift the entire atmosphere of a situation. How walking away can preserve energy that would have been lost in unnecessary conflict. These are not small changes. These are signs of mastery emerging quietly within you. And mastery, once awakened, cannot be reversed. You may still experience moments of uncertainty, moments of questioning, moments when the future feels undefined. That is natural. Growth does not eliminate feeling, it stabilizes response. Even when you don't know what comes next, you no longer collapse into fear. You remain steady, observant, receptive. That steadiness is your greatest strength now, because it allows guidance to reach you without distortion. Something is about to be revealed that requires exactly that level of steadiness. A truth, a shift, a realization, something that will confirm what you have sensed for a long time, but could never fully prove. When it appears, you will not feel shock. You will feel recognition, like hearing a truth your soul has been whispering quietly for months, finally spoken aloud. When that moment arrives, trust your first inner response. Not the second, not the third, the first. That immediate knowing before logic interferes, before fear analyzes, before doubt questions. That is alignment speaking clearly, and it will not lead you incorrectly. For now, remain exactly where you are, internally centered, aware, prepared. Nothing is being withheld from you, everything is being timed for precision. And timing, when aligned, never misses. Feel your breath again, steady, calm, present. Feel your awareness expanded, alert, grounded. Feel the quiet certainty building, slowly, undeniably. You are not waiting without purpose. You are not still without movement. You are not silent without power. You are on the edge of emergence. And very soon, what has been forming in silence will begin to speak through reality itself. Stay ready, stay aware, stay aligned. The next shift is closer than you think. Something is rearranging itself around you right now, even if nothing looks different on the surface. That's the strange part about real transformation. It rarely announces itself with noise. It moves quietly, like pieces sliding into place behind a wall you cannot see through yet. And while the world continues as usual, conversations happening, routines repeating, people moving exactly as they always have, something deeper is shifting direction. And you can feel it. Not with your thoughts, but with that subtle alertness that never fully turns off anymore. You've probably tried to ignore it, tried to return to normal patterns, tried to convince yourself nothing significant is happening. But the feeling keeps returning, persistent, steady, undeniable, like a silent signal repeating, stay aware, stay ready, stay grounded. Because what is coming next is not random movement, it is alignment revealing itself in visible form. And when alignment becomes visible, separation follows naturally. Not forced separation, not dramatic endings. Just quiet divergence, paths that once ran side by side, slowly turning in different directions. Connections that once felt natural suddenly requiring effort. Spaces that once felt comfortable now feeling temporary. This is not loss, this is precision, life reorganizing itself to match the frequency you now carry. You may notice this first in subtle ways, a conversation that fades instead of deepening, an invitation that no longer feels right to accept, a realization that you no longer need what you once depended on. These moments may seem small, but they are markers, evidence that your inner world has changed so completely, your outer world must now respond. And here is the truth most people never understand: when your alignment shifts, everything misaligned begins to loosen its grip automatically. You don't have to push it away. You don't have to fight it. You only have to remain steady in who you are becoming, and whatever cannot resonate with that cannot remain close for long. This process can feel disorienting even when it is right, because familiarity has weight. Even when something no longer serves you, its presence once provided structure, predictability, emotional reference points. So when life begins clearing space, even peacefully, it can feel like standing in a room that suddenly grew wider, quieter, emptier than expected. But emptiness is not absence. Emptiness is preparation. Space is being created for something that cannot arrive where clutter still exists, something that requires clarity, stability, readiness. And readiness is not measured by desire, but by capacity. Your capacity to receive, to recognize, and to sustain what is coming. You have been building that capacity quietly for longer than you realize. Every moment you chose restraint instead of reaction. Every time you walked away instead of forcing resolution. Every time you trusted inner calm instead of external pressure. Those choices strengthened something inside you that cannot be shaken now. And because that foundation is stable, what comes next can stand firmly within your life, without collapsing, without distorting, without overwhelming you. That is why the timing matters so much. There were moments in your past when you wanted movement faster, answers sooner, clarity immediately. But if those things had arrived before your inner world was ready, you would have met them with confusion, fear, or attachment. Now you will meet them with awareness, and awareness changes how everything unfolds. Because when awareness leads, you don't chase. You recognize, you don't cling, you receive. You don't force direction, you step into it naturally. That shift in how you move through life is what makes this season different from anything before it. You are no longer navigating through reaction, you are navigating through recognition, and recognition makes movement efficient, precise, unmistakable. Very soon, something will become clear that once felt uncertain. A pattern will reveal its full meaning. A truth will surface that connects pieces you never fully understood before. It may involve a person, a path, a decision, or even a realization about yourself that changes how you see your entire journey. When it happens, it will not feel chaotic. It will feel like something finally makes sense at the deepest level, and in that moment you will understand why patience was necessary. But there is something you must remember before that moment arrives. Clarity often comes with responsibility. Once truth is visible, you must respond to it honestly, not emotionally, honestly. That may mean choosing differently than before, moving differently than before, letting go where you once held tightly, or stepping forward where you once hesitated. This is where many people retreat, not because they don't see truth, but because truth requires courage. But you have been prepared for this. Every quiet season, every delay, every moment of stillness strengthened your ability to respond without fear controlling you. You are not the same person who once doubted every step. You are not the same person who needed constant reassurance. You are not the same person who ignored inner knowing to maintain comfort. You trust yourself differently now, and that trust changes everything. You may also notice your emotional reactions have slowed, not disappeared, slowed. There is space now between stimulus and response, a pause, a breath, a moment of awareness before action. That space is power. Within that space you choose alignment instead of impulse. And that ability alone ensures that what comes next will not control you. You will meet it consciously, intentionally, steadily. There is another shift happening too, one that is easy to overlook. Your sense of urgency has changed. You no longer feel the need to rush outcomes. You understand something deeper now. What is truly meant for you cannot be missed by patience. It can only be distorted by haste. So you move carefully, attentively, aware that timing is not an obstacle, it is part of the design. And the design unfolding around you is incredibly precise, more precise than your mind could ever construct. Every delay positioned you. Every challenge strengthened you. Every redirection protected you. Even the moments that felt confusing, meaningless, or frustrating were shaping the clarity you now carry. Nothing was wasted. Not one experience. Not one lesson. Not one quiet realization. You are standing at the threshold of visible change because you are finally stable enough to recognize it without fear. That stability is rare, and it is why what approaches your life now will not pass unnoticed, misunderstood, or mishandled. You will see it clearly, you will feel it immediately, and you will know exactly how to respond, even if you cannot explain how you know. Trust that knowing, not loudly, not impulsively, steadily, completely, because what is about to unfold does not require force, only recognition. And recognition happens naturally when your inner world is clear, calm, and undisturbed by unnecessary noise. So remain centered exactly as you are now. Let life move while you stay aware. Let clarity emerge without chasing it. You are closer than ever to the moment when what has been forming invisibly becomes undeniable in your reality. And when that moment arrives, everything will feel different, yet strangely familiar, like stepping into something your soul has been preparing to meet long before your mind understood why. Stay steady, stay aware, stay open. The reveal is almost here, and when it comes, nothing in your life will feel uncertain in the same way again. And now you feel it, don't you? That quiet certainty rising beneath everything else. Not excitement, not fear, something deeper. A calm knowing that something within you has already changed and there is no going back. You are not standing where you used to stand. You are not thinking the way you used to think. You are not reacting the way you used to react. Something inside you has crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. This is the moment most people never recognize. The moment transformation becomes irreversible. Not because something dramatic happened, but because something settled permanently within your awareness. A clarity so deep it no longer needs proof. A peace so grounded it no longer depends on circumstances. A strength so quiet it no longer needs to be displayed. You have entered a different level of being, and the world will begin responding to that whether you announce it or not. From this point forward, things will reveal themselves faster, truth will surface quicker. Misalignment will feel sharper, guidance will feel clearer, not because life suddenly changed, but because you did. You may notice it in small moments first, the way you instantly sense when something is right, or when something feels slightly off. The way your body responds before your thoughts form words. The way you pause naturally instead of rushing forward. That is not hesitation, that is alignment guiding movement with precision. And here is what makes this moment powerful. You no longer need to search for direction the way you once did. Direction will begin finding you. Opportunities will appear when your awareness is calm. Answers will arrive when your mind is quiet. Connections will form when your energy is steady. You are no longer chasing, you are attracting what matches the state you now carry. But listen carefully, because this part matters more than anything else. What comes next in your life will respond directly to your inner stability. Not your effort, not your urgency, your stability. If you remain grounded, clear, and aligned, what unfolds will flow naturally. If you return to old reactions, old fears, old emotional patterns, movement will feel blocked again. That is why this moment right now is sacred. It is the sealing of your awareness, the anchoring of your transformation. You are being trusted with a new level of perception, and perception shapes reality more than action ever could. Feel your breath again, slow, steady, controlled. Feel your body relaxed but alert. Feel your awareness, expanded, awake, present. This is your natural state now. Not temporary calm, permanent grounding. And from this grounding your life will begin unfolding in ways that feel guided rather than forced. You will move when it feels right, speak when it feels necessary, remain silent when it feels wise. You will no longer waste energy questioning every step, because something deeper will always confirm your direction from within. That inner confirmation, that quiet certainty is your protection. It will keep you from rushing into what is not meant for you. It will keep you from staying where you no longer belong. It will keep you steady when others panic and clear when others are confused. You are not walking blindly anymore. You are walking consciously, and conscious movement changes destiny. Very soon you will notice doors opening that once felt sealed, conversations shifting in your favor, timing aligning in ways that feel almost too precise to be accidental. You will look around and realize life is no longer resisting you the way it once did. It is responding to you, because when inner alignment stabilizes, external resistance dissolves. Remember this when movement begins. Do not rush to explain it. Do not rush to question it. Do not rush to share it with those who cannot recognize what you recognize. Protect what is unfolding. Let it stabilize. Let it grow quietly just as you did. Not everything sacred needs an audience. Some things are meant to be lived, not displayed. And as you move forward from this moment, carry this awareness gently but firmly. You were not randomly guided here. You were positioned. You were not randomly changed. You were prepared. You were not randomly protected. You were chosen to move differently, see differently, live differently. You are no longer waiting for confirmation. You are the confirmation. Let that truth settle fully into your chest, into your breath, into your presence. You are aligned. You are guarded. You are guided. And whatever comes next will not arrive to test you, but to reveal what you are now ready to receive. So walk forward slowly, consciously, peacefully. Trust the quiet voice within you. Trust the stillness that steadies you. Trust the path that unfolds step by step, without force, without confusion, without fear. You have been awakened to your awareness, and awareness is protection. You have been anchored in clarity, and clarity is power. You have been positioned in alignment, and alignment cannot be shaken. Stay close to this feeling. Stay rooted in this calm. Stay aware of this presence surrounding you. You are seen. You are covered. You are exactly where you are meant to be. And this moment right here is not an ending. It is the quiet beginning of everything that was waiting for you to finally become ready.